Welcome to the Black Sparrow Media Internet Broadcast Network.
You are listening to Linux in the Ham Shack. LHS is a podcast about Linux, open source, and amateur radio for everyone. Now here are your hosts, Russ, K5TUX, Cheryl, W5MOO, and Bill, NE4RD.
Well, hello everybody and welcome. You have tuned into a magnificent evening. This is episode number 500 of Linux in the Ham Shack, the most terrific amateur radio podcast on the internet. And before we tell you what all is going on tonight, let's just get right into it. I'm Russ, K5TUX.
I'm Cheryl, W5MOO.
And I'm Bill, NE4RD.
So we had a topic lined up for tonight because technically this is supposed to be a deep dive episode if our rotation remained consistent. But as I was saying right before I pushed the record button, I'm a dumbass. So we will not be having a deep dive tonight, except for maybe just a deep dive into the introspection of Linux in the Ham Shack, where we talk a little about ourselves and talk a little about like what's going on and the fact that we've done 500 episodes of this stupid program. But we are so glad that you guys are all here to listen, and whether you started at episode 1 or episode 500 makes no difference to us. We're really glad you're here. And when we get down to the end of the show, we will have a giveaway. We have a UBIT X version 6 QRPHF transceiver kit that we'll be giving away, and it will go to whoever wins it. It was everybody who was a paid sponsor of the show got a free entry, and then we used social media to get all the other entries. And I will tell you at the top of the show here that we had 97 total entries. So thank you all for doing that. And like I said, towards the end of the show here, right before we wrap up, we will spin the little wheel and we'll determine who takes that prize home, or who actually we will send it to. And so good luck with that. But in the meantime, we're going to try and kick back a little on episode 500. And I was just talking about the fact that I pulled out some sort of special whiskeys to celebrate the evening with. I have a bottle of Glenmorangie Signet, which we reviewed in episode 272. This is the most expensive whiskey I own, it coming into close to $200 a bottle. I'm sipping on it. It's just as good as it was 4 years ago when I reviewed it. And a bottle of Eagle Rare 10, which for, 1/8 the price is also fantastic. But one of these you can buy and the other one you can't. And we'll leave that up to you to figure out which is which. And then Bill is recording from an alternate location because he's multitasking tonight. So, because
yes, that's right.
He has a life outside of Linux in the Ham Shack. Perish the thought. But
not much of a life.
You're dealing with a play and an opera right now simultaneously.
Yeah. We have a running of Taming of the Shrew going on. Fortunately, I didn't have to do anything with that today. I spent the day with my grandkids, playing with them, and just came to the theater this evening here to start working on the set for our next opera, which is Salome, which is the short topic is it's like, the beheading of John the Baptist. So it's a nice biblical tale. It's done in, I think, German or something like that. So
you expect lots of kids for the matinee, right?
Oh yeah, there are tons of kids here. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen some productions of it on YouTube where there's just blood everywhere, and I'm like, we're not doing that, are we? So nice. Fortunately, no. And I play the executioner, so I have a small part singing in this opera. Thank God they finally learned their lesson. So I'm just sawing here at some trying to build up a little thing in the stage. So rehearsals can start this coming week. So yeah, just trying to get stuff done, and I got tons of other stuff going on. So I'm not drinking anything because of dealing with power tools. I don't really think they mix very well, at least not at the beginning of a project. So yeah, I'll probably have something after the show once I'm tonight.
That's probably very responsible of you, which is unfortunate, but I guess that means you'll be able to use your power tools safely. You'll be able to drive home safely, and then you can just get totally ripped when you get home. So there you go.
Absolutely.
So in the meantime, I've been introducing Cheryl to Minecraft, and if you all don't know, we have a Minecraft server for Linux in the Ham Shack. There's information posted in the gaming chat. So if that's something you want to check out, we're having a lot of fun with it, and I'm gonna sit here and ask Cheryl now what she thinks of Minecraft. I think she's been enjoying it. We last night we set her up with a Wednesday Addams skin, so. I think she looks pretty cool, actually. So now I have to get a skull of her to put on our little pikes.
Yes.
So are you actually enjoying it, or are you just doing it because I wanted you to?
No, I'm enjoying it, at least partially. So
At least partially. Okay, so what don't you like about it?
I did not enjoy getting bombarded by the zombies and whatever was attacking me yesterday.
Well, I told you not to harvest flowers at night, did I not?
It was during the day. You said I was in the shade, though. That was the problem.
Well, that's true, yes. Once they spawn, if they're in the shade and they don't get into direct sunlight, they will not do the gentlemanly thing of bursting into flames and dying. So
yeah, that wasn't fun. So
no, it was fun to be on Discord hearing you say, "Look, I'm running from these zombies and I'm trying to find my boat and they're not dying." And
I ran around the whole dang island trying to find the boat. So
always a good idea to keep track of your boat.
yeah, well, the day before you didn't know where the boat was, and I found it. So
well, luckily I keep a boat in my inventory, so if I can't find my boat, I just throw out another one. But
well,
yes.
yeah,
that's the pro Minecrafter move right there. Is keeping a boat in your inventory. And
I learned from the best. Bill is is an expert Minecrafter. So.
Gosh, I don't think so.
But I think we're having a lot of fun. Cheryl's doing a lot of husbandry right now. She's I started with a bunch of animals on the island, and now we have a bunch more because she spent the evening breeding chickens. So now we have a lot of chickens. Oh, and I got pigs too. Oh, and wolves, because we had to have wolves because
we needed dogs.
Yeah, Minecraft doesn't have dogs per se, but they have wolves, which is the essential equivalent of a dog. So now we have 4, because why not? So teaching her the fine art of using all the ridiculous controls in Minecraft, and I completely terraformed the island last night. So
nice,
or actually today. So. Because she's like, well, now we have to build a barn to put all these cows and chickens and pigs and stuff. And I was like, yeah, well, we're on an island, right?
That's okay.
Yeah. So I built more island. So we have a place to put a barn.
Well, be careful. We'll start, grabbing some of Bill's cats and moving them to our island. Because he only has like 40 over there. So
Bill the cat herder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just find them and leave them there. I don't have any more.
I saw you said you were working on the monument, and I didn't get a chance to look at that today, so I'm going to have to do that later. But
yeah, I just did like an example arc, just one block wide, kind of arc, just to kind of see what it looks like if it's big enough or whatever. But
right.
Yeah, I just bored the other day. I was like, well, let me see if I can do this arc here and see if we can find something that looks like what you want, and then be easier to build it out from that point. But I don't know. It's okay. I still think it's off center, but like we don't really technically have a real bridge heading in that direction. We can always move the bridge to be centered on something. And we technically don't have a road either that goes through that way.
One thing I learned about and I'm modeling after this, after the Arch in St. Louis, in case anybody's curious. One thing we learned early on about the Arch in St. Louis is that it's exactly as wide as it is tall. So I was trying to, use that as a guide. But building a triangular structure in a square world is rather difficult. But we'll get there someday. All right, we probably shouldn't talk all night about Minecraft. What were we talking about before we jumped on here that was so interesting?
Booze.
Well, yeah, I already mentioned the booze. I mean, let's not turn this into a weekender. We already had one of those.
We kind of already have. So.
Well, that's true.
We were talking about the fact that this was our 500th episode. And
yes,
it was gonna be fluffy.
Yes, light and fluffy. Bill suggested we do a history of Linux in the Ham Shack, and I don't know. Do we want to do a history of Linux in the Ham Shack?
Oh, we could just kind of do the stats kind of thing. Okay. We started when?
We have new people. They need this information because they may not have heard it already.
Well, that's true. The first episode was, if I remember correctly, and you're going to stretch my brain cells at this point, I believe it was released on October 11th, 2008. So I'm sure I will be corrected almost immediately if that's wrong.
So we're coming up on 15 full years. Right.
Now, in the beginning, the show has had many different release cycles over those years. I believe that originally it was once a week or once every 2 weeks? I can't even remember now. Wow, it was a long time ago. You have to just go back to the website and look and see how often they came out. But at some point we shifted to I think bi-weekly, or maybe it was started as bi-weekly, and then we did weekly.
I think it was bi-weekly to start out with.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think it was bi-weekly to start with, and then we tried doing weekly, and then we went to 3 every 2 weeks, and now we're back to weekly. So that's why it took 15 years to get to 500 episodes. So, and there's also been some, we take a break at the end of each year. So there's episodes that don't get recorded, and then there'd be some skipped weeks and stuff like that. So it's kind of taken an inordinately long time to get to 500, but here we are. Originally, the show was not started by me. I did not start this show. I have been on every episode of this show save one. So I'm the most often host, I guess, of the show. I've been on 499 of the 500 episodes. I don't even remember what the reason was for the one that Bill had to do by himself, but
I think we had some kind of weird gap or something like that, and I didn't remember. I think you remember.
No, Russ was at his parents' house and forgot.
Oh, that's right.
Because Bill and I were here and you weren't, but I couldn't get on audio-wise because you weren't here.
Oh, yeah, because you had to use the table of audio stuff. So, yeah, that was...
Right, yeah.
Yes. So I just winged one, so it was no big deal.
Right. So no one on this show has actually been on every episode of the program. So, but originally... Richard had his own show called Resonant Frequency, the amateur radio podcast. And he was doing that and decided that he wanted to do a show that had a co-host. And I was co-hosting another podcast with another guy, another amateur radio operator way back in the day. And that podcast was called Stranger Things. And all it was a this day in history of weird things that happened on this day on a particular year or whatever type of podcast. And I was really kind of grooving on podcasting back in 2007, 2008. And somehow it came to my attention that Richard was looking for a co-host, and I said, me. So he chose me. And then we did episode 1 of Linux in the Ham Shack in October of 2008, and it went for, 15 years now, or close to it. And Richard was on the show through episode 100, and then he decided that other life things were more important than doing the show and was unable to carry on past that. He has been back on a couple, 3 or so episodes since then as a sort of a legacy character, if you will. And I did the show alone for, I don't know, 4 or 5, something like that. And then we had Pete. I believe Pete was the one who came on after that. Pete Landry, VE2XPL. And he helped me out for a while doing shows as a co-host for several shows, with an occasional appearance by Harrison. And why is Harrison's call sign escaping me right now? Anyone remember?
VE2HKW.
HKW? Is that it? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. What about Bill?
What about Bill? We're not to Bill yet.
No. The first Bill. K9WKA.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to forget about Bill. Yeah, Bill Grzanich, if I remember correctly. Mm-hmm. He was not a host of the show, but he used to do all of the show notes. He was the guy who compiled all the show notes. I don't know that he was ever on the show.
I think he was a couple of times.
He may have been, but he that was not what he wanted to do. He just wanted to be known as the show notes guy. So,
right.
So that's what he did. There's been a couple more people show up in the live show. If someone wants to put them in the Etherpad. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Don. Steve, Winston, Fred, and Ted. So we don't forget anybody. So Bill Grzanich, K9WKA, was a show notes taker. I don't remember when he stopped doing it. I don't remember if it was even before or after Richard left. I honestly don't remember.
It was from looking at the show notes, it looks like it was after Richard left. Pete was still involved a little bit.
Okay. So then Pete and Harrison were around for a while, and then Pete decided that he had to give it up for a while. And I don't remember if there was a time transition between Pete and Rich, now K0EB, or if we just kind of, went right from one to the other. But either way, Rich was a host for a while. I want to say something like 30 episodes. I'm probably in the ballpark somewhere. And then Rich had some life issues and decided that he couldn't be a part of the show anymore. And I think without even really thinking about it or asking for a co-host, suddenly there was Bill. So.
It looks like we had Rich from episode 160 to 167.
Oh, no. Shirley was on for more than...
No, not according to show notes. And then Bill was here for 168.
Oh, maybe Pete was the one who was around for 30 then.
Oh, yeah, Pete was here for lots. So let me go back here. Pete.
Yeah, Cheryl will give you the actual statistics, not the random crap that I'm spewing out of the top of my head.
Yeah, it looks like Pete started at episode 107 and went through, still scanning up the list here, 156.
156, okay.
Yeah, and then there was 3 episodes of just you and I, and then Rich came in at 160 through 167, and then Bill was here for 168.
168 through today. So,
wow, he has just lost his mind. Okay, great.
so just to put that into perspective, Bill is the second most longevity host of this program. So,
yes.
Definitely got all the recordings in, but right?
Yeah.
But yes. So it's 7 years now almost. Yeah.
Yep, it's been a long time, and it's of the people who have been to Hamvention from the podcast. No one has been to Hamvention other than the 3 of us.
Right, Bill. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bill has been with us every time, right?
No, he missed one.
Yeah,
That's
1
right.
year, right.
The very first year, because I joined the podcast like the month of Hamvention.
Hamvention, right.
So yeah, I didn't go that year, but I think I made every other year.
I believe you have, yep.
Yeah.
I gotta add another Steve, KJ5T. Let me put in Dawn, KB2YSI, and what was the other one? Oh yeah, Stacy, KB7YS. Okay, got everybody down. So Tom says it's a lot of fun seeing y'all at Xenia. I think I first saw you in Hera, and yes, you probably did.
We were in Hera for 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years, I think. I think this year coming up is year 11. I want to say that we've been going. No, I think 11 is right. So it's really close if it's not correct. Cheryl will, of course, dig up the real information and correct me.
Yeah, that's it's getting harder to find that information. So
well, that's true as things goes. Oh, and what was it? What did I see today or yesterday that the CEO, or not the CEO, but the president of DARA passed away?
The ex-president. Yeah, he wasn't the current one.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that announcement there. What was that? Don't want to mess it up. Pretty sure it wasn't the current though.
Steve KJ5T says not able to catch the live show audience tonight, but wanted to say happy 500th. Thank you very much. Discovered the show a couple of years ago. Listened to most of the back episodes. Yeah, I can understand not doing them all. Trust me. And really enjoyed it. Can't wait to hopefully meet you all in person this year at Xenia. And we sure hope we get to meet you at Xenia. Looking forward to it.
Ron Kramer, KD8ENJ, who is the DARA vice president, passed away this morning. He previously held positions of Dayton, chairman of Dayton Hamvention, and president of DARA.
Yeah, I knew something. Sorry about that. To hear about his passing. Obviously, the transition will be relatively smooth because I saw that they were already talking about, no issues with the continuation of Hamvention and all that stuff. Of course, they would have contingency plans in case for that. But sorry to hear about the passing of a rather important member of DARA, the founding sponsor club of Hamvention, and the ones that keep it going every year, except for the years it didn't. So yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. Now, hopefully, I know they said there was going to be some sort of announcement about a memorial and so on. So if you're able to attend or be a part of that in some way, please do. But yeah, we are definitely looking forward to Hamvention again this year. And to that end, let's go ahead and plug the fact that we have a GoFundMe. We're already, it's only been up for like a week and a half now, I think, and we're already halfway there. So, not much left to go on the GoFundMe. So if anybody has a few bucks jingling around in the pocket, please send them our way if you can. If not, listen to the dogs bark in the background and just share the information about the GoFundMe. Of course, we'll put all the links in all the places. One thing I will say on the topic of dogs running down the hallway. No, on the topics of social media platforms, I have recently subscribed Linux in the Ham Shack to Instagram and to Mastodon. And so you can find us on those platforms as well now. And I will say that due to the 500th episode thing and signing up for entries in the 500th episode giveaway, our uptake on Mastodon has been like meteoric. I think in like 2 days, we had like 30 subscribers on Mastodon, like from nothing. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the platform. I really do. I mean, I'm going to try and start announcing things there. There don't seem to be, I don't know if there's an API for Mastodon because a lot of the places that allow you to do mass postings and stuff like that don't integrate with it. That may be because of its sort of distributed nature. But I'll definitely start posting to I did post for $4.99 to Instagram and to Mastodon and to all the other usual places. So if you want to join us over there, it's at LHS Podcast at mastodon.radio. And, of course, links to all this stuff will be in the show notes. So, speaking of Mastodon, I just got a notification. Did somebody just join us on Mastodon while we're sitting here talking? Yes, Don. Don just followed us on
Nice.
So, all right, very cool. So that's all of that. Hamvention coming up really soon. Hope we can see everybody there, everybody who will be able to be there. I mean, we're going to be there one way or the other, but the financial help will always go a long way. We really appreciate it. So where do I go from here? Somebody work into the next topic we can talk about.
There's a next topic?
Well, I mean, just the next thing. I don't know. I've been talking my head off, so I want to get some more scotch in me. So somebody else talk for a second.
Gee, what can we say? Yeah, I'm really excited to go to Xenia again. I'm hoping I should be going to Florida first, so I'll be coming from the south direction. Hopefully, Hopefully, I'm still debating. I was looking to see because I have to shove a TV with me for the K2BSA booth, and I'm like, I don't feel like driving my truck, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure I want to fix up my my Golf suspension to make the journey either. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do really. I'll figure something out, I'm sure, between now and then. But yeah, like driving over there. That's a good time.
As it turns out, we're going to be coming in from the south this time too. I mean, generally we come in from the south anyway, but our trip is more northerly when we get closer to Ohio because we come across I-70, which is, if you're coming from here, that's generally the way you would do it. But I think we're going to divert this time in St. Louis and take 64 south, and we are going to hit Louisville, Kentucky first for a day or two.
I think Bill's planning on joining us for that.
Yeah, I'll try to organize that. My arrival sort of coincides with that as well.
Because
I plan on going down the week before to Florida, I think.
All right. Well, either way, I mean, we're gonna hit Louisville, and we're gonna hit some of the great distilleries that we've talked about on some of the weekenders, like in the Bardstown and Louisville area, in places like Rabbit Hole, which are actually downtown, and some of the surrounding areas that have, because as you know, a lot of the great American whiskey and bourbons come out of Kentucky, so we figured. It's not really actually that much of a diversion for us to sort of slip through Louisville on our way up to toward Dayton. So we are definitely going to make plans to do that this time. I'm not sure why we had to make plans to do that before now, but it is what it is. So all right, I'm out of avoid
Indianapolis altogether.
Well, that's true. You know what? If it turns out that just going that way. If it does nothing else but alleviate the headache of going through it or around Indianapolis, we may just go that way every time. So, and if nothing else, we can stop and hit Buffalo Trace every year. So
yeah, there you go.
I want to do Buffalo Trace. I want to go back to Old Forester because Old Forester is amazing. I want to go back to Rabbit Hole because Rabbit Hole is really cool. There was another one that I really wanted to do, and now I can't think of what it is. It'll come out.
Must be Maker's Mark.
No, it was definitely not Maker's Mark.
Yeah, not a fan.
So, yeah, that is what it is. All right.
You got Yellowstone. You got 1792.
1792 and Yellowstone. Those are both excellent. Yeah, and probably worth a visit. Neither of those
down in, Bardstown, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole ton of stuff in Bardstown. It's crazy. But Old Forester is actually right in downtown Louisville, and they have some really cool stuff in their tasting room. So
yeah, you can get the presidential bottles and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Plus, that's the first time I got to try the Old Forester rye, and that stuff is stupid cheap. It's $26 for a liter. Yeah. And it's so tasty. Have I reviewed the Old Forester rye yet? Someone look that up for me.
I don't think so.
I did look up. The first time we went to Hamvention was 2010.
And we skipped one, right? So this will actually be year 12?
Yeah, probably. Well, no, because we missed, 2 years, 3 years because of COVID?
Well, even if we missed 2 and skipped 1, so it might be 10 or maybe 11. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
Steve says he really liked the bottle of 1792 that he picked up. Thanks for the suggestion. And unfortunately, since you brought it up, Steve, you're going to have to tell me which expression of 1792 you got because there are 4 of them. So...
Test time.
Yep. Test. Please put on your thinking cap and let me know which of the 1792s you actually purchased. This is where we put our listeners on the spot.
Yeah.
Oh, he's typing. So this is positive.
I think I've had them all.
I have not had the Ball and Bond.
Is the one that's not quite.
I thought the Ball and Bond. I thought the Ball and Bond was the one you didn't like.
It was okay. The small batch I think was better. The foolproof is really good.
The foolproof is basically the only one I ever buy because it's fantastic. So, and the regular expression is good too. I haven't
seen that in a while now. Yeah, the regular one's fine. I have not seen the foolproof lately anywhere available. So it's becoming rarer, at least up here.
Okay. Steve says he believes it was the foolproof. He may be lying just because somebody said foolproof. He's like, oh yeah, it must have been foolproof. But if it was in fact foolproof, you definitely got the best of the bunch. So, and if you're looking for a great classic tasting bourbon with the full corn notes and all that stuff, 1792 can't go wrong at all. So, oh look, we have Jim 7J1AJH. Don't see that call sign in the chat ever. So I'm going to definitely note it down. Thanks for being here, Jim. Good to have you. Are you still like in Japan? What the hell time is it in Japan right now?
It's early morning.
Well, it's actually probably late morning, right? Because it's later than Australia, isn't it, in Japan at this point? I don't know. See, time zones. Time zones and math.
11:15 in the morning.
11:15, yep, right on you. Jim says 11:14 for him, so fantastic. Glad to have you here on what I hope is a great Monday morning in Japan at this point. So I see that, let's see, I know there were entries in the contest from all over. I know there was like Taiwan and Japan and call signs that start with a B, which I don't see very often at all. So I'm not even sure where those were from. Where are the B call signs? I know B is China. There's some China B's, right? Indonesia maybe? Or are those like number ones? I don't remember. It's too many things to keep track of.
Yeah.
I know we had two or three call signs that started with a B, Bravo. And we had several.
Gene's one of those, right?
Gene is one of those, yes. And we know that's Taiwan. But these were like BJ or BA, something like that, not BX. So
I believe BA is Jane's.
No, he's BX. BX8AAD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So thanks to everybody who signed up for the giveaway. I mean, I am going to give this to whoever the picker wheel decides wins it. I'm just going to say I hope it's not somebody in China, because we do have to ship this thing to wherever it's going. So if it's going to Bangladesh or Tanzania or something like that, I've never shipped to any of those places, so I don't know what it's like. But we will do it no matter what. And thanks everybody for participating. We didn't get any, we had entries right up until the 6 p.m. today deadline. So I was really happy to see all that, and almost 100 entries. I really think that was great. I think we got a lot of activity, and hopefully we got the word out about the show, and maybe got a few new listeners. Really, that would be great if we did. So Cheryl's putting in, I think we not had any, I think Rars Fest. I don't know if we need to mention them, but we mentioned them on the show because it's a show.
Right. They joined us on Facebook.
Yeah, I know. They followed us on Facebook. Yeah. But, all right. Somebody else talk about something for a second. I'm putting Bill on the spot. Bill's probably like trying to put a set together, like in the background. Yeah. Can you hear like hammering and sawing and stuff like that? Those little circular saw noises like.
I'm quiet because I get getting a lot of choppiness in the audio, and I don't want to mess up anything because I don't know if it's my connection here. I mean, I tested it right beforehand. I was getting like 100 and something by megs or whatever, and but I've been noticing like I'm getting saying.
So, yeah.
Well, right now we're getting like
the more you talk, saying. The more chop you get. So.
Yeah, so I just won't talk. I think it'll be fine.
Well, here's what we're going to do then. Let's open it up. We do have quite a few people in the chat room here. We don't often have this many. So if anybody has any questions for us about the show, about the future, about Hamvention, about tech topics or anything, please hit us up now. This would be a great time where we could answer a few questions or talk maybe about a subject that's of interest to someone for a couple of minutes, because otherwise we're just going to say, I'm going to go drink some whiskey and spin a wheel and see who wins the thing. So I'm going to sit here and pause, and I'm going to sip on my Glenmorangie because this glass is almost empty. And when this glass is empty, there's some Eagle Rare going into it. And that's a good thing. Luckily, there's this great plugin in Audacity called Truncate Silence, and it gets rid of all of this. It's like there were no pauses at all. Only people who listen to the show live get to hear the pauses. Well, your speeds are a hell of a lot better than mine.
It could. So I don't.
It could be me.
This
I
is
haven't
my
done.
XPS 13.
Oh, it could be the laptop. Yeah, I haven't done a speed test here, but I have noticed, strangely, that as of the last 6 or 8 days, our network problems have gone away. And for all of my ISP complaining about the fact that it's me and all of the devices I have on my network, suddenly, with me not having done anything, stuff is better. Oh, you know what? I don't have any of Richard's sound bites. I mean, I'm sure I have them somewhere, but I used to have an iPad with all of Richard's sound bites on them, and I don't have that handy. I wish I did, actually, so I could play all those things like Pickle-Lick-a-licious or More Fun Shooting Guns in the House and stuff like that, but I don't have any of those. I might have to bring them back at some point. Thanks, Ted, for reminding us of of the good old days. I kind of wish I reached out to Richard. I don't know if he would have been here, but might have been interesting to see what he had to say on the 500th episode of the program he started. Yeah, Jim, you can shut it. My ISP, the ISP that I work for, offers 1 gig symmetrical internet. But of course, I don't live where my ISP is. So I have to live with crap internet. I'm not going to say who the crap internet is through, Brightspeed, but they're crap. So Winston says Apple 14 MCOM satellite connection with no cellular. Yeah, there's been some talk. I don't know if it was you, but I remember Bill talking about a little bit about the fact that the iPhone 14 actually has the ability to communicate with satellite radios for emergency communication only at this point. But that was kind of the first I'd heard of it. It's kind of an interesting technology. I don't know, Bill, do you want to try and weigh in on that a little bit? I think you heard about it more than me. No, Bill Sawnwood.
No.
Yeah, sorry. I switched to my phone here real quick. So
okay. Well, your phone sounds way better.
Yeah, something's really weird with this laptop. I swear, every time I use it, it just gets worse and worse.
Just use your phone because it sounds so much better.
Yeah. Apple announced that satellite service on their iPhones when the 14 came out or something like that. And it was fairly decent news during the launch event, but pretty much just kind of died away as just another Apple phone feature, another Apple phone that people aren't really terribly interested in getting upgraded to. You kind of get upgrade fatigue when you do that.
Yeah, I went from the 10 to the 13, so I do not have the luxury of satellite communication at this point. And Cheryl doesn't have it at all because she's using a stupid Samsung. No comment on the fact that you're using an Android phone.
Are we going to get into that fight again? Because at least my phone wasn't hosing my picture gallery every week, yours did for several years.
I took care of that.
Finally.
Yes.
Yeah.
At least I don't have to reboot my phone every 2 hours because or keep my screen to 5-second turn off because the battery dies.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, I use an Android phone. I've never had that problem.
Well, but you don't use a Samsung phone. You just use what do you use? A Core One or whatever they're called?
No, my last phone was a Samsung. I had no problems with that. This one is the Google whatever.
Pixel
5 something 5A.
Yeah.
Pixel 5. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I use my phone a lot, and I try to conserve my battery energy. So that's the reason why I have it set to time out after 15 seconds.
I know
on
it's
the screen.
Maddening.
Whatever.
I know I don't have to deal with it. It's not my phone. I get it.
You don't ever use your phone. I use mine constantly.
I use my phone a lot, especially when I'm, in the hedonism chat. So
whatever. That is one thing that does drain my battery really quick. I went from 95 just in the hour or so that we were on today. I went from 95% down to 50%. So
can't you plug your phone in?
There's one plug in the kitchen, and what was I doing? Dishes and no, so that wasn't going to work. Unless you want to put a plug in, around the stove somewhere.
We might look into that for sure. Don KB2YSI says he dislikes the Samsung UI, which I also dislike. He's been a Nexus and Pixel owner for the last 3 phones. Pixel 7 has been great. That's good to hear. I've never used a Pixel phone, so I can't confirm or deny for sure. I've been with the iPhone for, I don't know, long time now. I don't remember when I got out of Androids. I don't remember what the last Android phone I had was, but it was many moons ago. So, all right, we'll wait a couple more minutes here for chats or questions we can answer or anything like that, and then we're going to get down to the good stuff. I'm going to spin that wheel and find out who wins an HF transceiver. Unfortunately, the three of us who are parts of the show are not eligible to win said transceiver. I wouldn't have mind putting that thing together. It looks kind of... What do you mean, what? Wasn't that obvious?
Yeah, it would be a fun little project. I've been looking at those things for years.
With all the gear you've got, do you really need a U-bit X? I mean, I know you like QRP stuff.
No,
so
I don't need any more transceivers.
Exactly. Let's see. Tom says, I'm surprised you're an iPhone guy. Why are you surprised I'm an iPhone guy? I love the fit and finish of the iPhone. They're sexy. I mean, they really are. And I am a sucker for eye candy.
Yeah, let's talk about this whole iPhone thing. You had an iPhone, so oh my god, I hate this thing. Went to Android, had one Android, and went, oh, I hate this thing, and went back to iPhone.
I'm sorry, I like iPhones. I'm not saying I endorse Apple or any particular company or anything like that. I just know when I pick up my iPhone, I know exactly how to use it. I know exactly what it's going to do. I like the way it looks. I like the way it works. And so I'm sort of stuck on iPhone. So
yeah, except there for a while, it kept resetting, doing a factory reset on it for like a year.
And I think I found out what the problem was. There was a thing, I can't remember what they call it, but there was a problem with iPhones around the 8, 9, 10 generation with a thing called like flexing or something along those lines, where if you had the phone in some place where it could bend or flex, like in your pocket or something where you bend over, it would cause some of the circuitry to like short circuit, and that would cause reboots and reflashing and stuff like that. I don't remember what it was called. I think that sort of generation 8, 9, 10, 11 maybe of the iPhones were susceptible to it. And that was kind of the problem. I think they've sort of fixed some of that issue. Because I have definitely never had a problem with the 13.
I thought you had a problem with the 13.
Nope, I've had zero problems with the 13.
So it was your last phone that kept resetting.
Right, it was the last one, the 10. The iPhone X.
Yeah. And then there's always the one that he went swimming with.
Yeah, there is that one.
which was actually that one.
Was it?
Yeah, that was that one. Because
Did you get it dried out?
No, I got it replaced.
Gotcha.
No, the rice trick did not work on that phone.
No, I know it didn't work. So yeah, that was the weekend. That was Hamvention.
It was
Hamvention. That was
Hamvention.
the weekend that we stayed at the AC in Miamisburg or whatever.
Liberty Township.
Liberty Township, right? And we had no power for 12 hours of being at the hotel. So
exactly.
Yeah. So I did look at our list of Hamvention dates we attended. We went 2010 through 2022, except in 2015, because we did not meet our funding. In 2020 and 2021, we didn't go because of COVID.
So what year does that make this one?
6, 7, 8, 9. This makes it year 10.
Okay.
Or no, 11.
11.
This would be year 11. So.
All right. Very good. Well, you know what? I think we've shot the bull long enough.
Okay.
Unfortunately for everybody listening, you're just going to have to take our word for it. I promise you this is all legit, because for some reason the wheel does not want to make noise when I push the button anymore.
Record it with your phone and post the video.
Well, that's true. I could do that here. Let me get a recording going here. I've already set up the picker wheel, and I've run the randomizer 5 times the way I do with the random topic. Oops, that's a photo. Let's get a video. All right. So I'm gonna start the video here, and I am going to get ready here to push this button in the middle. It says spin, and whatever it lands on is the person who is going to win a U-Bit X version 6 QRP HF transceiver, and we will send it to wherever in the world this needs to go. So here we go. Again with no audio, but it's recording. So this will be on YouTube or something. All right, and there's the answer, and I'm just going to keep it posted here for a second so I can shut the video off. All right, and the winner is Steve. All the Steves are perking up now because there's quite a few of them. K0STK. And let me see where that entry came from, because I don't believe it's a subscriber.
North Dakota.
And I don't have these numbered. I mean, I don't have them... I have them numbered. That's what I meant to say.
It's Stephen T. Kostecki III out of West Fargo, North Dakota.
I just wanted to see where his entry came from.
Gotcha.
Let's see. K0STK. Look, it was a Mastodon user. So there you go.
Cool.
So yeah, Mastodon has done us well, and it's also done him well. So congratulations, Steve, K0STK. You have won the UBIT XV6 QRPHF transceiver. I will be getting in touch with you to find out. I mean, I know what your mailing address is because it's probably good in the call book, but I'll definitely be getting in touch with you to let you know that you won, and that we'll be getting this shipped out as soon as I get it, which is supposed to be on Wednesday. So there you go. Thanks everybody for signing up to try and win for our 500th episode contest. We really appreciate that. And congratulations to Steve, the winner. All right. So now we're done with that. Are we done except for the social media stuff? Anything else?
People exactly how to get to the Minecraft stuff.
It's in the game channel. It's a pin post in the game channel, but it's at minecraft.lhspodcast.info. If someone wants to join up there, we're getting new people all the time. There's even some people in there I don't know. So okay. I don't know where they found the information, but we have quite a few players now from all over the world, and we've got a dynamic world we're building there. So if you want to learn Minecraft at all, or if you're already a Minecrafter, definitely check it out. We'd love to have you join. And I think that's about it. We're going to have oh, wait, there's some comments here. Congrats, Steve. And he better use that rig to hand out QSLs for folks trying to get their work to all states. Congrats, Steve. Cool giveaway, guys. Okay, that was from Tom and for HAI. Sorry, Tom, I did that on the regular this time. All right, so before we get out of here, we'll monitor the chat room for a couple of minutes, and we'll let Cheryl handle these social media bits here of the folks who have signed up. There have been a lot of people who have signed up via Instagram and Mastodon because of the contest. I haven't aggregated them all yet, so we will definitely announce all of those folks on the next episode. Don't worry, we will get to everyone who started signing up to all the social media stuff. We just can't get to it this time around, and we'll let Cheryl handle what we do have before we get on out of here.
Okay, so for this time, for our subscribers and Patreons, we have Russ Hewells, KC5CNT, and Scott Pettigrew, N8VSI. On Facebook, we had Slavomir Pak, Greg Tangy, Clay Jackson, and RarsFest 2023. And of course, we're missing Twitter, YouTube, Discord, Mastodon, and Instagram. We didn't have any merchandise sales. Nobody joined us on the mailing list. But in the live chat, we have Winston, KD2WLL, Fred, N2NRV, Ted, WA0EIR, Steve, KA7HVT, Tom, N4HAI, Steve, KJ5T, Don, KB2YSI, Stacy, KB7YS, and Jim, J1AJH.
Close. Try that one more time.
What is that? Is that an L?
No, it's a 7.
No, 7J. Is that a 1?
Yeah, you didn't say 7. You said J.
Oh, sorry. 7J1AJH.
There you go. Got it.
Yeah, so.
All right, fantastic. That brings us down to the end of the show. We want to thank everybody who has been with us through thick and thin, whether you've listened to one episode or all 500. We really appreciate it. We do have our GoFundMe live for Hamvention 2023. Please donate if you can, share if you can't. All of this information will be on all of the social media platforms and on the mailing list. And thanks for participating in our 500th episode giveaway. Congratulations to the winner, Steve, K0STH. And we really appreciate everybody for all of these 14 plus years that we've been doing the show. Thanks again. We couldn't do it without you, and we wouldn't do it without you because if we didn't have any listeners, there'd be no point in doing the show. So with that, we hope
you messed up on a call sign.
Oh, was it not K0STH?
No, it's K0STK.
K0STK. Oh, excellent. Well, good. I'm human too. So thanks, everybody, and we hope we catch everybody at Hamvention in May. We're looking forward to it, and we're going to get on out of here. This has been episode number 500 of Linux in the Ham Shack. I'm Russ, K5TUX.
I'm Cheryl, W5MOO.
And I'm Bill, NE4D 73.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Linux in the Ham Shack. LHS is a community-sponsored podcast. Our website is located at lhspodcast.info. You can support the podcast by visiting the LHS Patreon page at patreon.com/LHS Podcast or by using the contribute list on the homepage. We have a presence on Discord, Facebook, IRC, Twitter, and YouTube. You can also drop us an email at info@lhspodcast.info or leave us a voicemail at 1-909-LHS-SHOW. That's 1-909-547-7469. Visit the online LHS merchandise store at shop.lhspodcast.info for fun and fashionable show-themed merchandise. Until next time, remember to always heed your hedonism.